So today we're joined by Superintendent Adam Drewberry from Fire and Rescue New South Wales, because it is that time of the year where we are cranking up the heat, not only in our houses but also in our beds with our electric blankets. And we're going to get some tips on how to stay safe. Are you there, Adam?
G'day, Matt. How are you? And thanks for having Fire and Rescue New South Wales on to talk about how people can be safe in their home, particularly in the colder months of winter.
Yeah, because we certainly don't want to be hearing or seeing any fires break out at this time of the year.
Yeah, for sure. And unfortunately, in winter, we do see an increase of fires in the home. About 1,000 fires, or more than 1,000 fires last winter, with 107 injuries. So we would really like to see that reduced significantly. We believe most of the fires that occur in your home are preventable, and also the injuries and the fatalities that we also see in the home for those accidental type fires are also preventable. So here today to talk with you and your listeners out there how they can be safer in the home, and even in the event that they do have a fire, an unfortunate event, that we can assist them to prepare for that and how to get up and get out and stay out.
Because we're not just talking about heaters that we plug into the wall, we're talking about things like air conditioning units in heat mode, and also these evaporated coolers that can also do heat mode. That can create quite a problem.
Absolutely. All of our homes have hazards that can contribute to a fire. And it doesn't matter if your home is 6 months old, 6 years, or 66 years old. We all have hazards in the home that can cause a fire. And what we want to talk about today is how to prevent them. First and foremost, nearly 40% or over 40% of homes where a fire ignites actually starts in the kitchen or cooking area. And these are really easily avoidable. And it's as simple as staying focused on your cooking. Don't get distracted. Keep looking when cooking, if you can just remember that. And I know, particularly at night time, the kids are coming home, people coming home from work, there's a lot of activity happening. The cooking gets put on and we can get distracted and leave it, but just stay focused. And if you do have to leave your cooking to assist with the kids or do something, someone comes to the door, or I get it out in the regional area, you've got to get out to the paddock or the back shed or something, just turn your cooking off, because it happens so quickly and it doesn't take much for us to get distracted. So first and foremost, we see a lot of fires, about 44% I think it is, fires in the home actually start in the kitchen. So that's easily preventable. So that's the first thing we need people to do. But no matter what starts the fire, the best protection you have to protect yourself so you can get up and get out and not get yourself injured or killed is working smoke alarms throughout your home. Some of our homes are quite large these days. The law actually has a requirement for one smoke alarm in your home. We recommend you have them throughout your home, particularly if your home can be quite long, and that requires, and I should correct, a smoke alarm is required on every level of your home, but some of our homes can be quite long. We want you to have smoke alarms throughout your home, particularly if you sleep with your bedroom door closed, or whether your kids sleep with your bedroom door closed. Get those extra smoke alarms up. They're quite cheap in the scheme of things. You can get down to a hardware, $25, $30, a good bit of double-sided tape. You can literally stick them up into that room, and it could save your life. And we can have a fire in a bedroom that actually ignites, smoulders away, producing lots of that toxic carbon monoxide, which will kill you before you get burnt to death. And that fire can actually ignite and smoulder, and someone can die without it even breaking out of the bedroom. So working smoke alarms, we know they save lives. They give you that early notification so you can get up and get out. And the other thing is to have the conversation with the people in your home, is know how you're going to get out in the event of a fire. It doesn't have to be a formal plan or a diagram or anything. Just have the conversation. How are you going to get out of your home in the event of a fire? Know which doorway you're going to get out of. Know where you're going to meet up with each other so you can all be accountable for. Get yourselves down. The old saying, get down low and go, go, go. The reason we say that is because the hot smoke rises. You want to get down into the clear air and get out. Don't go back for anything. Don't go back for your pets or any valuables you think you might have. Just get out. Quite often your pets will get out themselves as well. Just look after yourselves and the kids and the family or whoever else you're in the home with. Just get up and get out.
And I guess, Adam, one thing to remind the listeners is that with the smoke alarms is that you need to check the batteries.
Yeah, the older style smoke alarms had a little 9-volt battery in them. Smoke alarms need to be less than 10 years old. So we need people to make sure, if you've been in your home more than 10 years and you've never changed your smoke alarms, you've changed your batteries, change them. Get them changed. It's a wonderful investment. It's like a seatbelt in your car, a pool fence around your pool. It's just that important for you to be safe. We know smoke alarms work. They need to be less than 10 years old. And the little portable ones you can get these days that you stick up to your ceiling or screw up to your ceiling actually have a 10-year battery in them as well. So you don't actually have to replace those batteries. I would even go as far as to say if you still have alarms in your house that have the little 9-volt battery in them, just replace them. Get those 10-year smoke alarms just get those 10-year battery smoke alarms and get them in. And if they're hardwired, even better. Just make sure that they are less than 10 years old. And yes, check them regularly, at least once a month.
Wow. So if the battery's lasting for 10 years, then you're going to save quite a lot of money also by changing them over.
Yeah, for sure. So, a quality, where do I say get a quality 9-volt battery? But what I've seen, I actually went and bought a smoke alarm recently, and I appreciate that at the moment I'm based in Sydney, worked a lot in regional New South Wales, and appreciate some things can be a little bit dearer in regional areas because of the transport costs associated with it. But for $25, or actually in Sydney I got them for $20, but say $25, $30 for an Australian standard 10-year smoke alarm battery, 10-year, for $25, $30 for a 10-year lithium-powered battery smoke alarm. It could save your life. And one less thing to worry about each year changing those batteries over. Or when they start beeping because that 9-volt battery is going off and annoying you, people quite often take them down and just never get around to putting the battery back in. A lot of the fires we attend to at times, we're looking at across the state about 44%, I think it is, of homes that don't have an actual working smoke alarm in it when they've had a fire in it. And that's just living on the edge. You're looking for a disaster. Remember when I said that all of our homes have hazards in them that can cause fires.
Now, Adam, when we're talking about heaters, and I'm talking about the portable heaters that we buy, should they be serviced regularly?
It just depends. I'd say yes, but a lot of the heaters, and we've actually had a few fires recently where little portable heaters have caused a fire, and fortunately, and I'd almost say by a miracle, we haven't had anyone killed. There was one fire where we had an oil heater plugged into a power board. It overloaded the power board. It caught fire. That was just after 12 midnight. Fortunately, the occupant was able to get to the rear of the home, but she was saved by Fire Rescue New South Wales and spent just over a week in intensive care fighting for her life. We're only talking about a minute or so before we had an absolute tragedy there. Her beloved pet did die in that fire, but Fire Rescue New South Wales were able to rescue her. She is on the mend. We've had another fire where, fortunately, the lady was up early having a shower in the ensuite at 10 to 5 in the morning. Her husband was sound asleep on the bed. She actually saw the fire ignite and take off with another little fan heater. These are little electric fan heaters that was plugged in. It had been on for a couple of hours. She said she turned it on at about 3 a.m. just to warm up the room. So that little heater, which was too small to heat up that room, is working overtime, and it pulled so much current out of the power system or the power point, the fire's ignited in the wall cavity, and literally within 6 minutes has destroyed the home, taken out that front bedroom, got up into the roof and spread across the top of the roof, destroyed the home. But the most important point here is, if that lady wasn't up and saw that fire ignite, she actually woke and dragged her husband, who was hard of hearing and the smoke alarm was at the rear of the home, was able to get him out. If she wasn't awake having the shower, I'm confident that that would have been a fatality, because not only that, the smoke alarm battery had been removed because it was always going off because of the cooking. Now, there's no excuse. Just move the smoke alarm. Don't take it out, the battery out, until you put another alarm up, then take it out. So if you've got an alarm that goes off in your kitchen because of the cooking fumes, it doesn't take much, or just outside your bathroom, the steam from the shower can go off, particularly in winter. Just put another alarm up in a better location before you remove the old one that's causing you those false alarms.
Now, Adam...
So that was... Yes?
Yep. Adam, we do hear quite a lot about the term carbon monoxide. What makes carbon monoxide?
Yeah, it's the products of combustion. It's a toxic gas. It's actually also a flammable and explosive gas. But as a resident or an occupier of a building, the carbon monoxide is what kills you in your fire. It produces from incomplete combustion. It'll kill you. The smoke is what kills you. You literally sleep to death before the fire can take hold. So you take that carbon monoxide in, it replaces the oxygen in your blood cells. You become dizzy, sick, and just overcome, unconscious, and it becomes fatal. And that is a product of every fire. So that's why those smoke alarms are so important. They are sensitive. They go off early. Get up and get out, because the smoke from those fires is what will kill you in the first instance before you get burnt. And you do get burnt beyond recognition once a fire takes hold. And what goes into a flash, what we call flashover, that is where the whole room ignites because of the heat, and everything in that room ignites. Now, a lot of our modern furnishings these days are plastics and rubbers and polyurethane foam. Extremely flammable once a fire takes hold. It produces all of that toxic gas and carbon monoxide, but it also burns freely, extremely hot. That's why a fire in a home can take hold and destroy the home within a matter of minutes. The example I had for you, which I just mentioned about earlier, the lady saw the fire ignite. The fire station was literally around the corner. We had fire trucks on scene within about 7 minutes, and that fire had destroyed the first 2 rooms and ripped across the roof of that home. So don't try and put the fire out. Just get up and get out, because that's how quickly fires can take hold in your residential home, in your home where you and your family, your loved ones or friends live at the same time. We just want you to get up, get out and call 000. And I appreciate regional areas, you can be quite remote, and that's why it's even more important to have your evacuation plans, look after yourself, have those smoke alarms throughout, because sometimes it can take a little while to get those resources into those remoter areas on your paddocks and your farms there. So but we can't replace you, the individual. We can get the homes replaced and your possessions, but we can't replace you. That's why prevention, yes. Check your power boards. Don't overload your power boards. Make sure you empty your lint filters out of your dryers. Leave separation between your heaters and anything you may or may not be drying, or your lounge chairs. Be careful the kids or the animals haven't kicked over the heaters as well. And make sure you've got the appropriate heater for the room. Really suggesting, after the experiences I've seen this year, is just turn your heaters off when you go to bed, or if you've got a combustion heater, those nice wood-fired heaters, make sure they're all sealed up and contained, nothing flammable on them or sitting around it, because it doesn't take much to start a fire in your home.
And Adam, what about electric blankets?
Yeah, I got to say, there are hazards and they do ignite. My advice there is, by all means, when you get them out after the summer, test them, lay them out, test them, plug them in, look for any isolated hotspots on the electric blanket. If you're feeling one area of the electric blanket is super hot and the other area isn't, just replace it, throw it out. You can't get them serviced, just throw them out and get rid of them. And when you put them on your bed, turn them on, but when you get into bed, my advice is to turn them off. Stay warm there, and take a hot water bottle to bed with you. Not a weed bag, but a nice hot water bottle. That's my preferred method of staying warmer at night, in addition to an extra blanket over the top as well. That's my preferred choice, because you just do see too many fires from heaters too close to beds, electric blankets that have caught fire. Just prefer the extra blanket and just a hot water bottle, not a weed bag.
And Adam, finally, I guess if the heater is meant for outdoors, keep it outdoors and don't bring it in the house.
Oh, absolutely. A very, very good point. Anything for outdoors, whether it be a heater or a cooker. We have LPG barbecues people bring in. We also have people, usually the young people who aren't quite aware of this, will bring charcoal heaters inside just to stay warm. They don't appreciate that that's just producing so much carbon monoxide, and that's what kills you. So we've had so many close near misses or close escapes in recent years from people. Fortunately, someone just waking up and everyone feeling sick and dizzy and semi-conscious and be able to get them out. So people unfortunately do bring those outdoor heaters or charcoal cookers in just to get that little bit of extra warmth in it. It doesn't even have to be inside. It can be in just quite an enclosed area before that carbon monoxide can take hold and start to give you problems and start heading you down to the path of death. So just leave them outdoors. If they're outdoor equipment, cooking or heating, leave them outdoors.
And I guess likewise for your indoor heaters, don't use those outside either.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You can't boil the ocean with a kettle, so don't try and heat up the outdoors with a little fan heater either. So just use the right equipment. Just be conscious that everything that is using electricity in particular is drawing energy. And those appliances wear out, even though they may not have moving parts. And a power board is a classic example here. They don't have moving parts, but they're pulling energy and it wears things out and they fatigue over time. And if your power board used to be a beautiful white, and I try and do my best Richie Benno sometimes here, if the power board's gone from the white to the off brown, the beige, the bone, the cream, start to look at that being replaced, because that's starting to look that it's being fatigued. And we see a number of fires where we've had overloaded power boards. It can be just a fan in it, it can be a heater in it, a fan heater, or it could even be an oil heater in it. Just don't overload your power boards.
Yeah, it's one of those things that when people get desperate, they might try.
Yeah, exactly. People can, they put the power points, a double adapter on the double adapter in the power point. The other thing I'd also ask your listeners out there in the community, when you are disposing of old electrical appliances that aren't any good, cut the cords, please, because we have had people pick up electrical appliances, fridges, heaters, off the side of the road and use them, and they've caught a fire in their place. And likewise, don't pick up other people's rubbish off the side of the road, think you can use it. They're throwing it out for a reason usually, and it's not working the way it should be. Also, be really careful when you're purchasing second hand. You can be buying someone else's problem or someone else's potential fire.
Look, really good points there, and thank you so much, Adam.
Any time, Matt, and thanks for having us on board. I enjoyed my time in the country, up from Tamworth out to Dubbo. I did some time down Broken Hill, out at Leeton, Hay, and all around those areas. So I appreciate what that community does for us in Australia, for providing all the foods and all other sorts of infrastructure that you do produce and provide for us, and appreciate it. And thank you to the people out there as well. And just want them all to look after themselves, because we can't replace you guys, but we can replace pretty much everything else around us.
Yeah, that's the best piece of advice there.
Okay. All right, mate. Well, thank you.